Hi there and welcome. I'm your host Nas, SALTA certified and IELTS accredited, and I want you to just answer these two questions. In your last essay, did you write at least 250 words, and did you do this in 40 minutes? And if you were unable to do that, then this tutorial will help you to achieve that. Absolutely 100% guaranteed. I've been doing this for the last 12 years. So, what exactly is required from you in IELTS Writing Task 2? You are required to write an essay in response to a prompt or question. You must write at least 250 words. You should present a clear position, provide relevant examples or reasons to support your position, and organize your ideas logically. Have you honestly presented a clear position in the past? Did you provide relevant examples or reasons to support your position? And did you did you organize your ideas logically? If you didn't, this tutorial will help you to understand what is expected of you in the test in order to score band 7. It will help you to write a clear and coherent essay in 30 minutes. Yes, I said 30 minutes. I absolutely mean it. 30 minutes guaranteed. It will also teach you to understand the importance of brainstorming, and it will provide you with a detailed writing template. So, by the end of this tutorial, you will have the skills and the confidence to write a Band 7 essay in 30 minutes. You will absolutely 100% understand why you have failed to score Band 7 before this, and you will have access to Band 7 opinion, expansion, and example phrases. So if you're ready, let's jump into what exactly is IELTS Writing Task 2. What are the different types of essays you could be asked? Opinion essays, discuss both sides essays, two-question essays, and each essay must be at least 250 words. In today's tutorial, we are going to focus on the opinion essay. Just a quick note here, whether it is task 1 or task 2, both tasks will assess your ability to write effectively in English, including your grammar, vocabulary, coherence, and cohesion. In this tutorial, we're really going to help you with the coherence and cohesion, which are often overlooked when test takers are preparing for the test. It's important for you to practice writing essays within the time constraints, so 40 minutes, and to become familiar with the different essay types and the task requirements. So today we're going to dive really deep into all of that. Let's look at an opinion essay. The topic: some individuals believe that the widespread use of mobile phones and computers has led to a decline in face to face communication skills. This is your topic. When you look at your test paper, you need to identify what is the topic, what is the task, what are you expected to do. So when we look at the topic, first look at what is the topic really about. The use of mobile phones and computers has led to a decline in face to face communication skills. So, the use of technology has led to an increase or a decrease, a decline in what? Face to face communication, not just communication, but the skills associated with face to face communication. Look at the keywords, look at the micro keywords. And what are you expected to do? You are expected to write an essay explaining first to what extent do you agree or disagree. If you simply say you agree or disagree, that is not good enough. You need to state the extent completely, somewhat partially. And you need to write at least 250 words, and I'm going to give you 40 minutes. Remember, task 1 is 1/3 of your score, task 2 is 2/3 of your score. Logically, it just makes sense for you to spend more time on task 2. So 250 words. And how do you count 250 words? Instead of counting individual words, count the lines and the average number of words you write per line. If you think that you write 8 words per line, I would say reduce that number to 7. So if you've written 50 lines times 7 words, you've got 350, which is also way too much. The examiner will not read after 300 words. That's something that you may not have heard before. Now, this is really important. You need to brainstorm, and you're going to dedicate 5 minutes to brainstorming. You're going to come up with ideas for both sides. Then you're going to write the essay that has stronger ideas and where you can use language easily. It is a language test. Where can you expand your ideas? Do you have good examples? You will only know this if you brainstorm both sides. Not just the side you want to write, but look at both sides. And we're going to do this together now. And if you're thinking, Nas, really, I cannot waste 5 minutes brainstorming this. I need to get started. I never finish my essays. Well, the reason you never finish your essays is because as you're writing, you stop to think of ideas. And these ideas do not come to you in an organized, logical manner. They are random. They go all over the place. Idea one pops up at the end. The main idea, the strongest idea, comes to you in the last 5 minutes of the test, and there's no coherence. Okay. So by brainstorming, you put everything down on paper, all the ideas, and then you organize. You organize yourself during the brainstorming session, just 5 minutes. If you don't do it, you will find yourself scratching things out, drawing arrows, redirecting the reader's attention, erasing. It's a hot mess. Absolutely. So trust me, take the 5 minutes to brainstorm, because if you don't have ideas, what are you going to write about? And then you're also going to see how it affects your introduction and your conclusion, the coherence, the clarity with which you present your essay. Now, when I brainstorm, obviously it doesn't look as neat as the screen. It's scribbled all over on a piece of paper. But I try to come up with as many ideas as I can related to the topic. And with regard to this topic, if I agree, I'm saying, well, if there's increased screen time, there's less in person interaction. And that makes sense. That's logical. Can I explain what I really mean by that? Do I have an example for it? Number two, reliance on digital communication, usually text messaging, may hinder the development of social skills. Actually speaking to people. Oh, I'm already explaining it. Great. Do I have an example? Do I know someone? Have I seen this, around me, that people are unable to actually talk, to communicate? It's all done via text messaging. How often do people actually call each other? Okay. Or meet with each other? Have they become socially awkward? Have their social skills been affected? Overuse of technology, number three, can lead to isolation and disconnection from real life social situations. Am I able to explain this? Do I have examples? And number four, virtual communication lacks the nuances and subtleties present in face to face conversations. There's no tone in a text message. Things can get lost in translation. Now, I have 4 ideas. I cannot use 4 in the essay. I need to choose 2. Why do I need to choose 2? Because I need to develop my essay. I need to develop, I need to expand. It's not a grocery list of 4 or 10 ideas. I need to develop my ideas. Look at the criteria for IELTS writing: development of ideas in the essay. So I'm just going to choose 2, and I'm going to choose the 2 strongest ones, the ones that I believe I can write 2 great paragraphs about. So look through your ideas and choose 2. Now, I'm focusing on agree here, but you are absolutely 100% free to explore, disagree, and choose 2 ideas from disagree. In fact, that might be a really good task for you to work on the disagree, since this essay is going to be written about the agree. The disagree would give you an opportunity to use the ideas that have been brainstormed to write your essay. Let's look at the first idea for disagree. Technology actually enables communication across vast differences. It fosters connections that would otherwise be impossible. A good example would have been during COVID, where people used applications such as Zoom and Skype to stay in contact. What would they have done without this technology? So it actually increased communication, it fostered connections, connections that would have otherwise been impossible. If you're calling a friend in China or someone in Brazil, how are you doing it? Technology, right? So, this is a really good idea. I've explained it to you, I've given you examples. You are now able to write a really strong paragraph about it. Go ahead, test yourself, try to do this on your own after this tutorial. Also, this is a really, really good idea. I love this one. Digital platforms, social media, Instagram, Facebook provide avenues for introverted individuals, people who are shy, to express themselves comfortably. So it provides a safe space for them to express themselves. Maybe they feel awkward in the real world, and this allows them to connect with people. What a beautiful idea. I actually see two really strong ideas here that I would love to use in the essay if I'm writing disagreement. Here's another idea, but like I said, choose two because you need to develop and you need to expand. Online communication supplements face to face interactions rather than replacing them entirely. And last but not least, advancements in technology have facilitated innovative methods of communication that enhance interpersonal relationships. What methods? What are these innovative methods? Is it video calling? What is it? Right, now that you have chosen which side you want to write the essay about and you've chosen two ideas, let's get started on the essay structure. How exactly do you write your essay? Start with your introduction. Present the topic, provide background information, state your stance, state your position. Do you agree or do you disagree? And to what extent do you agree or disagree? If you have never scored band 7 before and are now targeting band 7, I would advise you to stick with a completely agree or completely disagree essay. That would be the easiest one for you to write. At this point, I would say that please do not forget to state the extent of your agreement or disagreement. Let's go back to our brainstorming page. We have our four ideas. We are going to select two. So once our introduction is done, we look at which of these two ideas are our strongest, where we can expand, where we can explain, and we're going to use these in our body paragraphs. So, in the first body paragraph, you will deal with the first idea, the first reason. So, here you will discuss reasons supporting the idea that mobile phones and computers hinder face to face communication. Something else I'd like to point out here is while writing the essay, especially in the first 10 minutes, do stop, pause, think, look at the topic again just to make sure that you really are on topic. The worst thing you could possibly do is spend 40 minutes writing an essay that is off topic. In paragraph 2, you're going to do exactly the same with your second idea, your reasons why you support the idea, again, that mobile phones and computers hinder face to face communication and communication skills. Don't forget that micro keyword. Now, if you have scored IELTS Band 7 for writing in the past, go ahead and write the counter argument. If you haven't, for the sake of clarity and coherence and really just getting the Band 7 that you require, ignore this. Don't put an opposing viewpoint. Don't provide a brief rebuttal because it can become confusing. I've seen this. It's a high level function, and suddenly students who don't have the skills use it. And it actually lowers their score because at this point, you're no longer sure whether the student or the test taker agrees or disagrees any longer. So there's a lack of coherence. And then we have our conclusion. So as you can see, we're now on the fourth paragraph: introduction, body one, body two, and the conclusion. Unless, of course, you are band 7 plus, and then you're doing the counter argument. In the conclusion, what do? You state that it's the conclusion. Then you summarize your main points, you restate your position on the topic. And you will have this, your main points, from your brainstorming page. So once again, I'm directing your attention to your brainstorming page. So far, we've used it in the introduction. We've used it for body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2. We're using it again in the conclusion. So can you see how valuable this tiny piece of paper is? And if you are able to do this, conclude with a thought-provoking statement or suggestion for further research. Now, this is a really high-level function, and we are going to look at it. Don't worry about it. We're going to look at everything. You do not have to use everything that's being presented, but I do believe that it's important for you to get a full overview of the IELTS Writing Task 2 opinion essay and what will really push you towards band 9. So if you are starting out at band 6, take what you can from this and get yourself to band 7. Once you have band 7, and if you decide to retake the test, then look at the more advanced features that I am discussing, but I will let you know as we go along. Do this, don't do this. Are you targeting band 7? Are you targeting band 9? I hope that helps. And if you have any questions, please comment, send us a message. We are here to help. Now, let's look at the essay, what you get in the test, and it's the widespread use of mobile phones and computers has led to a decline in face-to-face communication skills. Underline the keywords, circle the micro keywords, read it at least 3 times. You do not want to write an essay that is off topic. This is your task. To what extent do you agree or disagree with this viewpoint? Now, you're going to write your introduction and you're going to paraphrase the topic. In the digital age, the prevalence of technology has revolutionized, has changed the way people communicate. And it has been suggested, passive, beautiful. The examiner is taking note of all of this, that excessive use of mobile phones and computers has resulted in a decline in face-to-face interactions and social skills. A complex sentence filled with really good vocabulary. I've also included passive. This sentence is going to score you band 9. How long should you spend on the first sentence? I would say 2 minutes. It's the first thing that the examiner is going to read. Think in terms of synonyms, grammar forms. I completely agree. Not just I agree, the extent. I completely agree with this viewpoint. It's not enough to stop here. Why? Because of the 2 reasons. Where are those 2 reasons? On my brainstorming page. How does this help? When the examiner is reading your essay, the examiner understands that 1, you agree, 2, you agree completely, you have ticked those boxes, and you completely agree for these 2 reasons. As the examiner is reading your essay, the examiner knows what to expect in body paragraph 1 and body paragraph 2. This is clear and coherent. This increases your score. Choose the 2. Go back to that brainstorming page. But for those of you who are still opposed to the brainstorming, who haven't used it, well, where are you going to find those 2 ideas? You want to start writing the essay, but you don't know what you're writing the essay about. So can you see how convoluted and messy it's going to become? You don't actually know what your essay is about unless you brainstorm it. There's a whole video on this, but this is an opinion essay, which means what do you think? And instead of using the phrase I think 20 times, we're going to look at different phrases that you can use in place of I think. It's an opinion essay, so 100% the words I think are going to appear. Let's start with from my perspective. Moving on, personally, I believe that. 4 words, lovely. In my view, from where I stand, in my estimation. Please pay attention to spelling. It's my belief that. Beautiful phrase, I contend that. Increased screen time reduces opportunities for in person interactions. If you have any synonyms that you would like to add, please feel free. Go ahead and pop it into the comments below. Now, let's look at our essay. We're going to dive deep into this. The main reason, body paragraph 1, why I contend that the ubiquitousness of technology has affected communication skills is the fact that, and idea 1, go back to your brainstorming page. Increased screen and scrolling time has limited and reduced opportunities for face to face or in person interactions. First sentence in my body paragraph 1, but I can't stop there. I need to develop and expand. And this can be exemplified by the fact that most teenagers and young adults prefer to text rather than meet in person. I think, in my estimation, people now communicate online with fewer meeting in person compared to the 20th century when technology was still nascent. I'm not done. I would like an example to really put forward my point of view in a very convincing way to develop my essay. This can be illustrated by the fact that instead of saying, for example, which is just 2 words, I'm going to use this can be illustrated by the fact that what? Most teenagers polled in a recent survey stated that they spend more than 8 hours online and only around 30 minutes with friends during the school lunch break. And does this support the idea that reliance on digital communication may hinder the development of social skills? I'm going to say yes, absolutely. Are we ready for body paragraph 2, the second idea? The second reason, in my estimation, I think from my perspective, from where I stand, is the fact that technology has had an adverse effect on social skills and the development thereof. Okay, that's a nice fancy sentence, but what exactly do I mean by this? I need to expand the idea. I need to develop the idea. So, regarding this, I'm now going to tell you more. Regarding this, the younger generation, which has been exposed to technology since birth, which has been exposed. Relative clause, my grammar score has just gone up. Prefers to interact through text and feels awkward in social settings. Okay, I've expanded the idea, but I need an example. This can be exemplified by the fact that there are lots of phrases for giving examples. We will create a video about these phrases after we've completed opinion essay, discuss both sides, and 2 question essays. This can be exemplified by the fact that teenagers and young adults rarely make phone calls or even video calls. As such, they are even less likely to engage in face to face communication, and this inability to socialize is concerning or is a cause for concern. Let's move on to our conclusion. We start with in conclusion. Let the reader, the examiner, know that it is the conclusion. An essay without a conclusion is deemed incomplete. In conclusion, I repeat, I reiterate my stance that I am in full agreement with the notion that the advent and prolific use of technology has had a negative effect on communication and social skills, with the main factors being what? Let's go back to our brainstorming page. Fewer opportunities for face to face communication and awkwardness when forced to engage in the real world. Did you see? You need that brainstorming page. Now, my comment, and I've included a conditional here. If this trend continues, I contend that, I believe that, I think that we will be dealing with a socially inept society in the future and more and more people being isolated. This is a high level function. If you cannot achieve this, don't worry. When you're targeting band 9, we'll work on this. Now be honest. Have you been writing essays that tick all the boxes and do all the things that I've presented to you today? Yes or no? Comment and let us know. And if this video provided insight into how you can easily increase your band, please do like and subscribe. Stay tuned, follow us, because we will be launching videos on discuss both sides essay and the 2-question essays. And then moving forward, we will also work on IELTS Writing Task 1. We hope you've enjoyed this session. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to click on the link in the description below for your free download. I'm your host, Nas, SALTA certified, IELTS accredited, and happy to be of service. It's an opinion essay, and when you have to give an opinion, what do you usually say? I think. So, in this segment, we are going to look at alternatives to the phrase, I think. That's the smart way to approach the IELTS writing task 2 for opinion essays. Don't you agree? So welcome everyone. I'm your host, Nas, SALTA certified and IELTS accredited. So as language learners and communicators, it's crucial, it's necessary to diversify your vocabulary and to learn new expressions, especially when it comes to conveying ideas effectively for IELTS Writing Part 2. In this lecture, we will delve into various phrases that can replace I think. And this is a really smart move because it's an opinion essay and you will need to give your opinion. You will be asked what you think. Doesn't it make sense to learn alternative phrases for I think? This will offer you a broader range of language tools to express your opinions and your perspectives. So if you're ready, let's start with in my opinion. In my opinion, this expression is commonly used to introduce personal viewpoints or beliefs. I think is 2 words. In my opinion is 3 words. So your language or your word count has gone up. In addition, you are using a different phrase. So your lexical score goes up. If you say, I think 6 times in the essay, the examiner cannot give you a higher score for lexical resource. By substituting, I think with in my opinion, your score goes up. Let's look at some examples and usage of in my opinion. In my opinion, the movie was captivating. In my opinion, social media is problematic. Here, in my opinion, adds a personal touch to the statement. It expresses and emphasizes your subjective viewpoint. It is an opinion essay. It is subjective. Now let's move on to from my perspective. Another alternative to I think is from my perspective. Please pause right now. Look at the link in the description below. There's a free PDF. Get your hands on it. It has all of this valuable information in it. I've been doing this for 12 years. So trust me, this is really going to help to boost your score, especially if you get the opinion essay in task 2. Let's go back to my perspective. So my perspective, this phrase highlights the speaker's individual viewpoint or standpoint. It also sounds very academic, band 7, 8, 9. From my perspective, please pay attention to spelling. An example, from my perspective, the issue requires further examination. By using from my perspective, you are emphasizing your unique interpretation or understanding of the situation. And let's be honest, it sounds a whole lot better than I think, as I see it. Now, if you're running out of phrases to replace I think, you can use this one. It indicates your perception or understanding of a particular matter. For example, as I see it, implementing new policies is essential for organizational growth. As I see it conveys your subjective assessment or viewpoint. Next up, and this is a little less formal, I would save it for speaking, but hey, if you really need it in the writing, go ahead. When we use it seems to me that, this expression suggests the writer's impression or opinion about something. And hey, it's 5 words. Word count has just gone up, more than doubled compared to I think. Let's look at an example. It seems to me that the project needs more time for development. It seems to me that communicates your assessment based on observation, based on experience. Next up, personally, I believe that. 4 words, personally, comma, I believe that. This is another phrase commonly used to express opinions, 4 words instead of 2 with I think. And this expression emphasizes your personal conviction or belief. Conviction, belief, these are other synonyms for I think. So a good example, personally, I believe that education is the key to success. Once again, you are emphasizing your strong personal conviction. I'm not done. From my point of view. So, from my point of view offers a perspective on a particular issue or topic. For instance, from my point of view, the company's decision was misguided. And this phrase underscores your subjective viewpoint, your standpoint. Look at these other phrases for I think, my viewpoint, my standpoint. Please don't forget to click the link in the description below to get a copy of the PDF for this document, as well as for a whole range of IELTS documents based on all of our videos. And we will be loading lots of videos in the coming weeks. So, incorporating alternatives to I think enriches your language repertoire, it enhances your communication skills, and it boosts your lexical resource score. By utilizing phrases such as, in my opinion, from my perspective, as I see it, it seems to me that, personally, I believe that, from my point of view, these convey your opinions and perspectives with clarity and sophistication. I encourage you to practice using these expressions in your speech and your writing to become more effective communicators and to score that not so elusive band 7 now that you are working with me. Thank you for joining me today. Please like and subscribe, and I wish you success in your language learning journey. I'm your host, Nas.